This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So coming to the resume preparation, the first fundamental for this resume preparation is if it is India, it should be 4 years experience. Okay. So if it's India, you should put not less than 4 years, and it could be between 4 to 4.3, 4.5, not more than this if it is India. Okay, not less than this or not more than this. If it is US or UK, any other country, it is 6 to 9. So this is base minimum. So there is no change in this, like no 3 or no 4, no 3 years in India, no 4 years in US. So if it is for SD consultant, then it should be with 4 years of experience to between this. It could be 4.2, 4.3, something like this. This could be 6 to 9, might be 7 years, 7.5 years, or 6.8 years, something like this, anything this. So not more than this, not less than this. This is base minimum. Okay, this is the first fundamental. The next, when it comes to resume, you should have minimum 4 to 5 projects. Okay, not less than that again. It should be minimum 4, and it could be up to 5. So coming to the projects, this could be minimum is 4 and up to 5. Because of S4HANA, it is 5. If not, like 4 projects is enough. We don't really need 5 projects, but because of S4HANA today, we need minimum 5 projects. Okay. In US, it's the same. It should be 5 to some 7 projects. Okay, it should be 5 to 7 projects. These are standard. Okay, so as I told you, no 3 years, or US no 4 years, 3 projects or 4 projects. No, these are not going to change. No deviation in this. You have to minimum mention these things. And there used to be a very standard thing, that is to implementation to support. Okay, so here, Anita, can you please mute? Please mute.
Yes.
Okay, so it should be minimum to implementation to support. That used to be the standard criteria in India. But now, because of S4HANA, we cannot show two implementations in ECC, because from 2017, we don't have ECC implementations. There is no ECC implementation from 2017. And if you calculate backwards from today, that is your experience. So 2021, 20, 19, 18, and 17. That means somewhere around mid of 17, you might be getting into the project, that means into SAP as a associate consultant. The first project of yours will be associate. Okay, it will be an associate consultant. So 17 to 18, 18 to 19, 19 to 20, 20 to 21. Yeah, so close to 4 years. That 4.5 years, whatever we discuss, it will reach that, it will match that particular, right? So always your first position and your project one, always in chronological order. This would be project 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. The first project, you will be an associate SAP SD associate consultant, and you could mention this as implementation. Okay, implementation, and you joined this project in realization phase. So I'm not going to repeat this again. Please make note of these things later, and you prepare this resume according to that. As I told you, there is no deviations for this, right? So why it is 17, why it is not 16? No, this is standard. Okay, so you have to fit into this particular whatever we are seeing here. right? So the first position would be associate consultant, and your project will be some, let's say, you could say that the implementation started somewhere in 2016, okay, 2016 or something, and 2016 or 15 you can mention, okay. You join in realization or final prep, okay, realization or final prep, okay. That would be your first project with for a short duration. That could be somewhere around 6 to 8 months, not more than that. Okay, 6 to 8 months. Then your project two will be the same implementation what you have done here for the same project, continuation of support. Okay, your support is continuing. So 6 to 8 months you worked on this implementation project that is in the end of the phase and started giving support. You could put this support for close to somewhere around 1.2 years to 1.4, 1.2 years. That means you see this is 2 years in total, right? Close to 2 years. So two projects, uh, this will be considered as two projects, one implementation, one support. Then after you can mention one more support, right? Then you can, this support could be close to 1 year or 1.5 year. Then you can put S4 HANA S4 HANA migration project. And now at present today, S4 HANA support. So project 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it is possible, you can fit into 4 projects or you can go with 5 projects. Okay, 4 to 5. 4 is minimum. You cannot go anything below 4. If you have like more confidence, you can put 5 projects as well, right? So this is how you could set up. So project one would be S4 HANA, ECC implementation. In the end of the phase, it would be in the realization or final prep, close to some 6 to 8 months. Then same project support, then one more support project. These all are ECC. One more support project. These two are same company. This is a different company. That means the client is different. This is you started implementation and support also same. And this could be support. Then comes S for migration project and S for support. S for support. These two are of same client. Okay. So just projects are different. If not, the client is same. Okay. So you could manage all your projects something this way. Something very standard. This is very standard. What industry is expecting now, right? So as I mentioned, these are the standard figures like 4 to 4.5 years in India and 6 to 9 years in US. And this is the projects what you could mention. And set all the projects timelines to according to your timeline. One good thing with consulting experience is we can write whatever we want. We can adjust whatever the experience the way we want. Okay. So there is no hard and fast rule here. If it's a working consultants, for them, there is an issue to adjust the timelines and everything. But for us, like say, going with consultancy experience, you can write whatever you want, but make sure it fits everything into the like the timeline, project, and everything. Okay. So this is how the base minimum what you could go with. But anything plus or minus the timelines and one or two project will change. If not, your current today project should be always S4 HANA. Okay, it should be S4 HANA migration. That's it. Okay, your current project should be S4 HANA migration. Okay, so now let's get into the sample resume and see. Just a moment. Let me open a sample resume. So you'll be getting a sample resumes. I hope you already have with you in the documents folder. So that would be your sample resumes. You have skill sets and everything over there. So here in the resume, first thing, your name, okay, and then your role, that is SAP SD consultant, your phone number and your email ID, and have a title for document resume, right? So this goes at the header. Coming to the email, try to have an email which looks very professional. Avoid numbers, too much of lengthy. Okay, there should not be any typo. Sometimes you may miss an offer letter because of your typo in the email, right? So have a very simple email ID. If you have something now, you can use it. Okay. Before that, before starting anything before the resume, first do one thing. Deactivate all your social profiles. That means Naukri, Monster, LinkedIn, or Jobs Ahead. It could be Dice. If you have your profile in these portals, first deactivate it. It will take some 1 week, 15 days for that previous profile to go away from the search because recruiters are smart, right? They'll just search with your phone number, with your email ID. What happens easily, they will be seeing your previous profile as well. And now it says SAP. They can easily know that you are a fake profile. So you first deactivate today itself all the profiles on the job portals and LinkedIn, this thing. Let this particular previous go away from the search. And system, when you upload resume after 15 days or sometime, only SAP profile shows there. Do this activity first, right? And have an email ID. Don't create some email ID with mentioning like SAP, ERP, SD. Don't put these words. Okay. Have some professional email ID, very simple email ID. You can create a new email ID, but as I told you, avoid using phone numbers, very lengthy email IDs, which there will be a chance for typo. Okay, don't do that. And write first is objective, so professional summary. Don't write any objective or something. No one is interested about the objective. So start with professional summary. Okay, this is a very well proved resume since last 5 years. Okay, let me show you something. Just a moment. Today one lady got a job. So whatever we are discussing, these all are proved hundreds of times, thousands of times since last 5 years. Okay, and this has been proved until last week as well. Last week or 10 days back also I showed you some guys got job, right? They also followed the same method, same resume, same this thing, whatever we are discussing. So this has been proved hundreds of times. So you could use this. Okay, let me get for you. Just a moment. Yeah, you could see, right, the screen. Yeah, you see this lady, she's not even my trainee. Just in the afternoon, 7 hours back, I got this email. She's not even my trainee. You could see lots of interviews got selected at Accenture. I'm happy to share with you. I saw your full videos and prepared for my interview, right? And I also showed you right earlier as well, people not even my trainees, somehow they take videos and they are getting. But what is the difference? Attending training and just watching the videos? This is the difference. See, whatever the job post, like the people who got job, whatever I showed you, have you seen anyone saying that I struggled a lot to get job? Anyone? Or they got first, second offer, first interview or second interview? Anyone? Do you noticed the difference? The difference is you attend training, you will get offer with the first to second interview itself. You don't need to struggle much, and you will have 2 to 3 offers. But people who just take, that means the what happening here is guidance is missing. Okay, they somehow got the videos, watched it, they managed to get a job. But you see, they have some struggles. At the same time, they cannot negotiate the package to level of what the people were attending to the training, right? So you could see people just watching the videos, following on the YouTube can do wonders like this. You should be doing much better than them, right? So whatever we are discussing for the resume preparation, this is well proved hundreds, thousands of times. So just follow the same, right? No deviation in what we are discussing. So no objective, no one cares about the objective. Starts with professional summary and write the professional summary. That is the first thing you need to mention. Always talk SAP first. Doesn't matter. You might be IIT, you might be IAM, or you might be having some 15 years of sales manager experience. Doesn't matter. Always SAP comes first, right? Your 30, 40 minutes of interview, if you face 30 questions, 29 questions will be SAP. Maybe sometimes 30 out of 30 will be SAP. So no one cares whether you what background you have before to SAP, these 4 years, no one cares about that. So always focus on the current situation. So having four, as I told you, you can put from 4 to 4.5 anything, and always talk the present first, as mentioned. So SAP experience as SAP SD, comma S4, because today is S4. Highlight S4. Okay, experience in SAP S4, SAP SD, and S4 HANA sales, and rest your total experience. Let's say you have total 10 years experience, then this goes into SAP, and another 6 years goes into the your domain experience or previous experience, whatever it could be, right? That should be the first line. Okay. Then next, number of projects you worked. See this resume, whatever we are seeing this resume, this whatever every word and line we are putting here went through a very structured process. Okay, a lot of thought process has gone through this. So line by line, whatever we are mentioning here, this is all like giving an interviewer just information within fraction of seconds. Interviewer should not struggle to find what you are out of the resume. In one glance, interviewer should able to see and come to a conclusion what you are. That's it. Interviewer should not like shuffle with the papers and go through that top bottom of the resume and struggle to see what exactly it is, right? So for that reason, whatever we are mentioning here, we are mentioning very structured way, because hardly you will have less than a minute or a couple of seconds to impress the interviewer. You go to the interview room, you give the resume, you sit there, you have fraction of seconds. You'll not have 10 minutes, 5 minutes time to impress. Hardly you'll have less than a minute of time to impress. By the time interviewer will just go through your resume and he will come to a conclusion. So when he's going through the resume, we should be able to give every information what the interviewer would be needing, right? So for that reason, you see very clearly we are mentioning this all things. Worked on, number of projects, how many support, how many implementation. Then for any consultant, integrations are very important, highlighting the integrations and the ticketing tool what you worked mandatorily. We want to avoid this question, so we need to put that in the resume itself. And coming to the resume, don't go fancy about the resume. Don't think that if I put very advanced concepts, automatic packing, batch management, handling units. Don't think that if I put these kind of fancy things, then only I'll get more calls or interview will be impressed. No, right? Whatever the word you are putting in your resume, you should be able to answer it. You are liable to answer it because this is your career, your resume, everything is yours. If you cannot answer what you have put, then there is no purpose, right? And there is nothing like in the resume. You, as I told you, you should put some fancy words like that. So then only it will be shortlisted or you'll be getting more calls. Nothing like that, right? No interviewer will come into interview. No, I need to ask these questions. No interview will come something like this. Out of the 30 questions, let's say you face in the interview, 28 questions will be from your resume. Just from this document only, 28 questions or 30 questions out of 30 questions will be there. That means if you put something here, if you put something here in the resume, you should be able to answer it, right? So you see these two lines. Okay, first three lines are okay, but these two lines you see. Extensive experience with analysis, design, development, customizations, and implementation. Anyone, can you tell if let's say you have this in your resume, an interview, what questions you may face? Will you face any question out of this line? Anyone? Any question comes into your mind by seeing these two lines? An interviewer can easily make some 3 to 5 questions just out of these two lines. So the point here is, no one creates resume from scratch. We copy and create the resume. But even when we are copying and creating the resume, we need to use our brains. It's not just copy paste. Okay. So if you see extensive experience with analysis, design, development, customizations, and implementations, interviewer may ask you, okay, what customizations you have done? Can you tell some scenarios? Right? Or else, what business requirements you have analyzed for your client? Can you tell what business scenarios you analyzed? Right? Our experience involves in implementation, production support, and development. What is your activities in production support? You see, these kind of questions you may face. And as I told you, every word you put in the resume, you cannot say that I don't know. No. Out of your best knowledge, this is your profile and you have put in the resume. You cannot say no and you cannot be not answerable for that, right? So try to avoid these kind of things. Okay. We don't want any unwanted question in the interview. Complete interview start to end should be under our control. Okay. So if you are not anything, it could be you see this proficient in analyzing and translating business requirements to functional requirements. Can you tell some business requirements what you have analyzed and how you have given a functional solution for that, right? So these questions could be so tricky actually, and this will upset you in the interview, and your next questions also you cannot answer well. So try to avoid something out of resume if you are not confident or comfortable about that particular. That doesn't mean that you cannot remove STO. Okay, you cannot remove credit management. No, I'm not perfect in credit management. I'll remove it. No, you cannot do that. But you can remove batch management. You can remove variant configuration because they are advanced concepts. And majority of the projects may not be having these things, right? So not necessary, but every project will have STO, every project will have credit memo. You cannot ignore these things, right? So if you are not comfortable or confident on certain things, what you mentioned in the resume, please remove it. The idea is, as I told you, don't go fancy about resume. Don't think that if I put some very much grammatical or something like this, it looks so. That means it looks so much of professional. No, try to keep your resume as simple as possible. It should be under our control. Okay, resume, interview, everything should be under our control. That's the reason everyone are able to answer minimum 25 to 28 questions out of 30 questions, because your questions would be from your resume. 50% of your job, your resume will get you. Your effort is only 50%, handling that 1 hour. But 50% of your job, you will get it through your resume. If your resume is not good, then definitely like the complete interview itself would be not good, right? So yeah, then next, the little technical also we need to talk, even though functional, but at least we need to mention something technical, because interviewers expect, even a functional, they expect some basic technical from functional consultants, right? So you could mention some terminologies like there is no sin anyway. You can completely remove this. Don't put any Indian projects. Anyone? Don't put Indian projects. Don't put GST. Maximum try to put all the foreign projects. And also don't go fancy again coming to the clients. Don't think that if I put Daimler or if I put Nestle, Microsoft, it will elevate my profile. No. Everyone knows who implemented for Microsoft, who is giving support for Schneider. Everyone knows that. So don't put this. Mention some projects which is very much less known, very less known. Okay. Do anyone know core carbons? Do you know company called as core carbons? Anyone? Right? These kind of companies. Or else we have, see, around Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, we have hundreds of companies which is very less known, and they run on SAP. Okay. So there is one, many companies are there. Like you take Tirumala Mill. Okay. Tirumala Mill. No one knows who is supporting this company. They run on SAP. They are 800 crore company. They run on SAP. So there are many companies like this. Choose some companies like this. Don't go fancy again about the clients. Don't put big companies. Mention very small companies like this, right? So, yeah, and again, don't put Indian projects and GST projects, because you will not get on-site opportunities. There is no purpose working in SAP without on-site. Once you get a job, within 2 years, 3 years, you need to get on-site. Okay, that's where you can make very good money, and the career also will be very good. Without on-site, there is no purpose. So if you put Indian projects or if you mention GST, you will be in India only. Then little technical handling, ABAP enhancements, debugging, IDOCs, background jobs, rise up. Just mention these terminologies. Try to have these words in the resume, because job portals are just like search engine. In Google, you type and it shows results. So the recruiters also search with the same way. So we want these words in our resume. So this is professional summary. You can just modify, alter it the way you want, but more or less, I hope you got the point, like how you should mention this. Then start with your S4 HANA skill set first. Okay, I can give you some skill set for S4 HANA, just mention that. Then SD skill set. First S4 HANA, then SD. Because remember, always we need to talk present first. That means what's happening today. And you see here, we have put lots of skill set, but every skill set, what we mentioned here, went through a very good thought process. You could see the terms we use and how we categorize our skill set, because no one can be good at everything. You cannot write it as I configured third party, configured STO, configured a new document text, configured pricing, third output. No, you cannot write it as everything as configured, right? So you could see familiar, knowledge, overview, administering, good configuration knowledge, extensively, handling, overseeing, adequate. So that means certain topics we are stressing a lot, right? Certain topics we are just touch and go, familiar. Certain topics adequate. So try to span your skill set something like this, but don't mention that you are good at everything and you can't figure everything. Right? You could also use the same thing, but try to modify because there are hundreds, as I told you, thousands of people in the industry with the same resume since last 5 years or 7 years. So first S4 HANA, then SD skill set. Try to avoid grammatical mistakes. Try to avoid typos and font change. You see, what is this font? This font is Times Roman 10, right? But the total document is Times Roman 11. You see, total document is Times Roman 11, but you see this Times Roman 10. When you'll have this kind of issue, anyone? When you'll have a font disturbance? When you copy and paste it, right? From the document where you copied, it might be Times Roman 10, so it is showing as 10. So recruiters are smart. They are trained for this thing. It's their job and they will do their job. But we also should do our job. So try to avoid these kind of mistakes, punctuations, everything. Try to have a neat resume. So skill sets. Okay, if you are certified in any module, you can put your certification logo, certified. See, education comes in the last. Okay, education comes in the last. So don't put your education here or domain. Follow the same format what we are discussing now. Now start with your employment history. Mention your company, what you are working. Let's say IBM, your implementation partner or support partner, and tenure from which year to which year, or month and year. From which month, year to which month and year. Just mention not dates, only month and year, month and year, month and year. Only SAP experience. And your first is SAP, and then last is your domain experience. Always chronological. So year to month, month year, and month year. That's how employment history. Then start with the project. You write it here. You write the project here. Always project, current project first today. Okay. Today's project first. That is project 4 or project 5, whatever it could be. Okay. Organization, that is your working location. You know, right? Again, I don't need to repeat. I guess you have two. One is your consultancy company where you take experience, but don't put that in the resume. And you need to choose one company as your work location. And in the portals, you put that company as a block. You remember I told you, right? Whenever you upload a resume, the day you upload your resume, you will get a call from Accenture. 99% of people will get the first offer letter from Accenture. Now also I showed, right, that lady today also she got offer in Accenture. But as I already mentioned earlier also, I hope I told you.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So your work, okay. So how you choose this organization or your clients? So best way is try to find out any friends, family, anyone who is working in SAP, any module, doesn't matter. SDMM, FI, BW, BO, BI, any module. Check if you have any friends in SAP. Take their company and their projects. That is the most safest way. Okay, talk to them and doesn't matter old projects, new project. It should not be today project, but try to take project from the same company what you will be mentioning and what are the work location you will be mentioning. That you need to put a block in your portal. In your portal, you can choose an option who can view your resume and who cannot view. You put that company as a block, so you'll not get calls or this organization will not see your resume. And clients, as I just told you, you try to find the clients that way. That is, try to check your friends. First, try that. If you don't find, then come to me. But first, please do your homework. Any module is fine. FI, SD, MM, ABAP, any module is fine, right? and your role and project. And don't write a lot about the client. Hardly 3 lines is enough. Don't do anything more than that. 3 lines, much more than enough. Or 4 lines. Then roles and responsibilities. Roles and responsibilities. Anyway, we have lots of sample resumes and other document. So from that you can take it, cut and paste. But again, you should have a clarity whether these roles and responsibilities are support project or implementation project. You should have that clarity. First point. Second point, again, don't go fancy about this particular. If you are not able to handle certain things, you are not like, let's say, working in the, okay, this is fine. Okay, resolving user specific requirement and production issues. If you're not able to understand this, or if you're not able to tell what exactly is this, don't put it, remove it, take it out. Okay. No interviewer will expect that, or else they should have some line like this. What happened to this line? No. No interviewer will expect this skill set or role from you. It is up to you. If you cannot handle this, remove it. That's it. Try to mention only the roles and responsibility, what you can answer and what you can handle in the interview. Right? This is the freedom what we have when you're going with consultancy experience. We could write anything. But make sure whatever the client project you put, if it is support, skill set should be support. Right? So make that difference, support and these things. You know Penar Industries? Anyone you know? Penar Industries or Godavari Polymers? Do you know Godavari Polymers or Nandi Pipes? Or there is one more company that is Pity Laminations. You know Pity Laminations? Anyone? You know what are the companies? The three, four I mentioned. Well, I want an answer from you so that I can
Yes,
tell
yes,
something more.
yeah, I know it.
If you don't answer, I cannot tell anything more. Okay, I'll stop. Okay, I consider that you understand. I will not be telling anything more.
Yeah, yes, Praveen, I know. This is Chandrasekhar.
Okay, Pity Laminations, you know?
Not Penny, that it's Nandi Pipes and the
Nandi
Pennar
Pipes.
Industries. Yeah.
Okay,
Then for Godavari Polymers. Yeah.
you're from Telugu?
Yes, yes, sir. I'm
Okay.
from Andhra.
Yeah, only people from Hyderabad, Telangana, by knowing these projects. Others may not be knowing this project. You see, PD Laminations. This
Yeah.
project runs on SAP. Very old project on SAP.
Yeah, Pinny Laminations. Yeah.
Right. This project, very old project, is UCPT Engineering Reviews as a SAP consultant. So there are many companies actually, many companies which runs on SAP. So how do you choose clients? Worst case, you don't find a see there is a list actually. There used to be list. SAP Indian companies running on SAP something like that. You type, you should find it, or else find some companies like Zensar. Some companies, some soft, they say implementation partners, what they do is they put all their clients in the website. Career services, case studies. Yeah, it should be case studies. No, see, I'm not referring to this website. It could be anything actually. Okay, you choose some 5 to 10 companies, and some companies usually they put all their client list here. Provis or what is the company? Or else what company is that?
No, sir, this is Anita, sir. Sir, am I audible to you, sir?
Praveen, you are not audible to us. No, still not audible. We cannot hear you. Praveen, I cannot hear you. You are not audible.
Yes, Praveen, you are not on.
Hello. Hold on, just a moment.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Check my headset, please. Hello.
Yeah, yes, Praveen,
Can you
now
guys
it's
hear me?
on.
Yeah, Praveen, audible now.
Audible, right? Okay. Yes. Ages India. Not disturb bunny. Okay. Just do some random search like this. You should be able to see some company might be putting their particular clients. So do one thing, take that client, the client name. Let's say if it is Godavari Polymers, then go to Google and mention the name and say SAP, SAP implementation or SAP, whatever it is. You'll see LinkedIn profiles. You see this? You'll see LinkedIn profiles. So try to open those LinkedIn profiles and see the tenure, the year when they have worked in Godavari Polymers. So that's how also you could pick the clients. Okay, that's one way you can pick the clients. You don't have any help, right? So that's how actually you don't take these projects. These are only dummy projects to mention. So, but you find out your projects, roles and responsibilities and everything. Then the last is the education qualification. Just write whether your master's or bachelor's and from which university. You don't need to mention pass percentage or anything. That's it. Don't mention anything. Don't even give a declaration. I hereby about details are true to my knowledge, place, date. Don't write any declaration on the bottom. Some smart HRs will ask you to give a signature over there. So let's not get into that. No passport numbers, no address, right? No hobbies, nothing. You don't need to mention anything. Just write your education qualification and you just stop over there. That's it, right? So this is how you could prepare your resume. I also uploaded 2 videos earlier and asked you to watch. Please watch those videos. You'll get more clarity. So this is about the resume. You can come up with questions. Before that, let me tell you two very important points for resume preparation. For interview preparation. Two very important points. So what to focus for getting a job? Because we have lots
Sir,
of concepts, right?
excuse me, sir. So, what is
Yeah,
the skill set you have to mention for S4 HANA, sir? Like in
I'll
the
provide you.
resume?
I'll email to everyone.
Okay, sir.
So to get a job, see, we learn lots of concepts, but to get a job, just two concepts, six SD concepts and six business process are enough. I also made a video on this. I'll share you the video, or else it's on the YouTube, my channel. You could watch six SD concepts. That is starting with pricing and revenue account determination, credit management, output, copy controls, availability check. See, if you remember, whenever I'm mentioning these concepts, did I mention you will face one question at least from this topic? Anyone? You remember? STO, I mentioned that you will face
Yes,
at least
Praveen.
2 to 3 questions, right? So coming to the business process, OTC, consignments, third party, and STO, intercompany sales and billing, maybe IPO process, maybe IPO. These six SD concepts and these six business process is enough to get a job, because you expect at least, see, there will not be any interview without a question on majority of these concepts. The interview will be close to 30 to 45 minutes. In 30 to 45 minutes, we should not get more than 25 to 30 questions. It's in our hand. We can control that. As I told you, everything should be under our control. So take the interview very smooth. Even though you know answer, pause and answer. Not very slowly, but very legible. Okay. So we should not get more than 20 to 30 questions in the interview. If it is 30 questions, just take one question out of these concepts. It will be almost 12 questions. But I told you from STO itself, you will face 2 questions. From pricing, you may face 2 questions, right? That means out of 30 questions, close to 15 to 18 questions will be from just this 12 concepts. 99% it will be only from these concepts. On top of this, now you have S4 HANA. You will face some 3 to 4 or 5 questions from S4 HANA. That means you could easily reach anywhere between to 22 to 25 questions very easily. This is very easily you can reach to this level. A little effort, you will go beyond 25 to 30 questions. But 22 to 25 questions, pretty comfortably you'll be able to answer, because we know from which concept they would be asking the questions. But there are also very important concepts, right? Like, see, that doesn't mean that you should ignore other concepts. So free goods is also important. Um, Document types, item category is also important. Just take some 2-3 questions over there, right? So 15 questions to 18 questions from these 12 concepts. S4 HANA, some 4 questions, some other 4 questions from some other concepts like document types, anything it could be. You can use 5 questions, you can definitely leave it. Okay, no one can be 100 out of 100, but many times it is possible. You can answer all 30. I'm not exaggerating, because today is last session, nothing to convince you more or something, right? Already we are in the last session of the training, so not to convince you or something. Whatever I'm saying, every word will apply to you when you go to the interview. That's where you realize and come back to me. Okay, 27 to 30 questions, pretty comfortably you will be in this bracket. This bracket is very comfortable. A little effort will put you in this bracket. right? So focus more on this. Focus more on this, and how your preparation should be. Watch videos and try to make questions. Whatever we discussed in that class itself, write it somewhere. From day one, I was mentioning that. Before you upload your resume, you should have minimum 2 revisions of preparation. Minimum 2 revisions. End to end, 2 revisions. And see, when I say end to end, don't start from enterprise structure. When I say end to end, it is always from pricing to STO. Pricing to STO. Okay, when we say end to end, once you finish this, don't again go back to enterprise structure, customer master, material master, document. No. Your preparation should always start from this pricing to STO. Okay, and give a little time for these particular concepts, anything before to this. Because see, all these topics, what we are telling here, 12, this is only in this bracket, right? So put your focus more on this and do this exercise every day, at least for 1 hour. So as I told you, very good season is coming. Try to plan to upload your resume in the first week of September. First week of September, you upload your resume in the first week of September. I could say that by September 15th, you'll have an offer in hand. Okay, if you are well prepared in the next August month and upload your resume in the first week, 99% you'll have offer in hand by 15th. Okay, don't miss this good season. If not, again, you have to wait until March. Don't relax. Don't think that, okay, I spent 2 months of time, let me relax for a week, party, and then I'll start preparation. Don't relax. Whenever you relax, you take a break, always it goes to the starting point, enterprise structure. You have to start from there. So just another 1 month, you stretch yourself, you will be in SAP. Don't relax, anyone. Don't think that I'll go home to come back after a week and do preparation. Don't do that. It's a continuation every day. Right? The way you're attending sessions, the same way you continue for another 1 month, upload your resume in the first week. By 15th, you will have your offer in hand. And the most important other exercise, what you have to do is, there is a website called as allinterview.com. You know this, anyone? All interview. This website, allinterview.com. You could see here itself it says SAP. Just click on this. Okay. SAP, and you see here some SAP SD. It has close to 2,696 questions, right? Anyway, going through all this is waste of time, but okay, I'll tell you how to do. Get into this allinterview.com and go by companies. Everyone know, right? At least top 10 companies: Infosys, Wipro, TCS, HP, HCL. So take some company. Let's say Wipro starts with alphabet W. Click on W. And or else if you have search bar, you can also search. I'm doing a little old way. So Wipro, somewhere it should be. Wipro. Click on this company, Wipro. And when you click on the Wipro, scroll to the bottom. When you scroll to the bottom, you'll see lots of technologies. Out of that, try to find out SAP SD. SAP SD. You see this? Click on this. So there are 112 questions from Wipro. What is these questions? These questions are people who has attended Wipro, but they don't know answer. They came here and posted for answer. So what we are trying to do is, before even going to the interview, we are trying to practice the way how you will be facing questions. Majority of the times you will know the answers. Okay. Consignments we just discussed. Okay. As I told you, packing, you just leave the packing. Don't get into the packing. Okay. Condition technique we discussed. What is condition type we have discussed. Where would you specify that the condition type is discount or surcharge we discussed. Don't go by answer. These answers might be wrong. You see, anyone can you answer this question? Anyone? How system knows whether the condition type is surcharge or a discount?
Sir, in condition type controls, plus and minus option will have there.
Condition class, right?
Yes,
Condition
sir.
class is A.
Yeah. Yeah.
14,000 people has seen this. You see, 14,000 people. So we are much better than many other people. So majority of the time, answers. You can go through the answers, but sometimes these answers might be wrong. Either you can cross check with me, or you just majority times you will be knowing the answer because we already discussed it. Okay. So do this exercise at least for 10 companies, 10 top companies. Okay, I just showed you for Wipro. Do it for IBM, Infosys, TCS, HP, HCL, okay, Cognizant, Accenture. Try to do at least for top 10 companies, possibly 15 companies. And see, write these questions somewhere. It's not just you read it out of this particular. They may be 100 questions, 200 questions, doesn't matter. Take time because the golden time is the next 1 month for you. Whatever we have discussed so far today is just knowledge. This will help you in the working real time. But coming to the interview, you have to prepare for interview. So this you need to put your preparation. You have 310 questions. So what you do is you write this question somewhere. Okay, relationship between sales organization, plant, and company codes. Write it somewhere, and you know the answer. Tell me some different partner functions, material types, bomb. Did we discuss all these questions, anyone? And you remember routing we also seen in Wipro? Anyone have you noticed this? Routing we have seen there. Valuation class we discussed. Pricing procedure, right? So the most of the time you go to the interview, these questions will repeat. 90% these questions will repeat. So at least do this for top 10 to 15 companies. Make a very good notes out of this, and that's it. Okay, so we are doing this much of homework. It's not that we are blindly going to the interviews. We are doing a lot of homework and going to the interviews. That's the reason people go to the interview. With the first interview, second interview, they get the offer. Majority of the times, 2 offers, 3 offers. Why? Because of this reason. It's not that we are not getting anything by luck. Luck might be hardly 10%. 90% is our effort, what we are putting in getting our jobs. So do this all homework, whatever I was mentioning, and by September ending, every one of you will get placed. Right? Go ahead. Any questions? Yeah. Any questions, please?
Sir, I have few doubts in few concepts, sir. So when can I call you, sir? Like, can I ask here, sir? Can I call you in some time?
Yeah. Can you do one thing? Can you please make a note of all them and send me an email? I'll have a reference.
Yeah, sure, sir. Since
Okay.
from the last week I have been calling you, sir, but I thought you were busy.
Yeah, I told you right since last 10th, that is July 10th, I was little occupied with some work, so I could not even pick the calls or respond. That's the reason I also canceled a couple of sessions in between in the last 15 days. You would send
Yeah,
me an email with all your questions. Within 5 minutes, I can clear all your questions.
yeah, okay,
Okay.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, everyone. Any questions?
Premium, you told that if any company demand for a salary slip, then just ignore that company. So
Yeah.
shall we
So for
ignore that?
experience and all
Yeah.
things, I can share you two contacts to the consultancy companies. Just talk to them. You can either go with them, or if you know someone, you can go with them. So there is no business contact. So call them, You can bargain for the price. You can ask any questions to them. Okay. My responsibility is only to give you a contact. There is a risk. Please assess the risk. Okay. But till date, these guys, there is no issue. Not even a single profile got rejected. They have managed everything. Okay. Only the question you need to ask them is what companies they don't support. Certain companies don't support Capgemini. Some companies cannot handle TechM. Usually they will tell you, you go to any company will manage, but don't go to TechM or don't go to Capgemini. They will tell you. If they don't tell you, you just ask these questions to them. Okay.
Okay, okay, Praveen.
Yeah. Any other questions? Please go ahead.
Sir, how about the S4 HANA skill set, sir?
I'll email you. I told you. I'll email you. I'll email to
Okay,
everyone the S4 skill set.
okay, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions, everyone? Okay. Hope so. No questions. So we'll call it a day today, and we'll conclude this batch today here, and we'll not be having any further sessions. But you can reach me, email, WhatsApp, or you can call me. Please allow me some time to respond. And once you prepare your resume, please send it so that we could discuss and we could freeze it. And whenever you upload your resume and you get any call, you want to discuss a job description, then also you could reach me, right? So anything in further you need related to getting into the SAP, please contact me. I'll be one point contact for you. At my capacity, I can help you whatever is possible. If you want to attend one more batch for revision, you are welcome. Any batch you can attend. Okay, you don't need to pay anything. You can attend any batch, any number of times. But as I told you, this is a very good opportunity. This opportunity comes only twice in the year. Okay. The people who join September batch, they are lucky, or the people who join around April, May, they are lucky. Because by the time they finish training in the next 2 months, you will get a season. Right? If someone joins in August, by the training finish itself is November. They have to wait up to March. 6 months close to, right? So don't leave this opportunity. This is a very good opportunity. You have 1 month time, much more than a lot of time to prepare. Get prepared well, and September 15th and 20th, you have to close your opportunity. Just take the offer letter and be ready. Yeah. So lastly, any questions?
Sir, is it required that we should have ABAP related knowledge also, sir, for this, for job creations and all, for job fairs?
A little knowledge is always recommended. So that's the reason we are mentioning here. So coming to the technical stuff, please refer to these documents. That is in the folder we have, you see, Mindtree, iDocs, ABAP overview, or else you go to Capgemini. In the Capgemini, you have two documents, ABAP for SD, and there also is Basis for SD, Basis and ABAP for SD. Apart from this, please refer this document. You see this LESIN, there is one document. In this page number 90, you have all the RISEP in the page number 90, functional specs, everything. And one more document is advanced concepts. This particular document, advanced concept, that is, it could be bad job, it could be background job, it could be LIS, SIS, anything you will find in this document. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Praveen.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about ticketing tool, Praveen? We need to learn something about ticketing tools or
Yeah, just the
for support.
YouTube. No, you need to know that. Just like what, first of all, finalize what is the ticketing tool you want to put in the resume, and just Google it, YouTube, and just see one or two videos and make notes. Will not get into deeper, but just to make sure to check whether you are real time or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. So we'll call it a day today, and we'll not be having any session further. So anything you need, you could email me or you could reach me through WhatsApp. Right. So thanks everyone, and all the best. Good day,
Yeah. Thank
everyone.
you, Praveen. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Praveen.
Good everyone. Bye bye.